Hi, guys. Welcome to my Wellness Wednesday podcast show. Here is the, the topic for today. Sorry, guys. I'm so out of breath. I ran over here from my center, but welcome in. This is Wellness Wednesday with Uma. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Uma. I'm the CEO of the Lotus in the Light Metaphysical Center located in Northern Virginia. And I like to come on here every Wednesday and tell you about one of the modalities that I offer at my center, or that I teach, or that I know of in the spiritual metaphysical community. So it's a short little video to get you to know more about the healing techniques that are available to you that you may want to try. Of course, I would love for you to try it with me, but not everybody lives in Northern Virginia or can get to me, or you may have somebody in mind that you can try this with, and that is absolutely a-okay too. So big shout out to those of you watching live. If you are watching live, tell me where you are watching from. Big shout out to those of you watching live on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Meet Me. Hi guys, I hope that you enjoy this little broadcast. Okay, so the topic I want to talk about today is called mindset reset work. And it's so important for us to talk about it because when I started as a healer, and this was over 20 years ago, right? Everybody was focusing on energy healing. So back then, the big thing was Reiki. Most of you know what Reiki is, right? And Reiki is focusing on restoring the energy within your body. Reiki is really good for bringing energy in, right? To help you with different things that you might be going through. So if you have mental issues, spiritual issues, physical issues, or emotional issues, Reiki would be the thing that you would want to get. It's a great healing modality and it's worked for a very long time. However, a lot of people still found that they had issues after Reiki because the problem that they were trying to get healing from was not being healed, right? So if you went through a breakup, let's just say, for example, you can go get a Reiki healing session and then you'll feel good in that moment. You'll feel happy, but then you go home and you start thinking about that person again. Or you're wondering, why can't I get over this person? And then we, as humans, we start to make up excuses as to why we can't get over the person. Right now, in the instance of this example, this could be believing, theories like this is my twin flame, this is my soulmate, we have karma together, I'm meant to suffer because of what I did to somebody else or what they did to me, right? So when you understand that people need more than energy healing, that's when you look into something like access bars. So access bars is a modality that it is a healing modality, but it focuses more on your mindset. It focuses more on creating your reality by changing your thoughts. And that's a big thing. That's a big thing because your mindset is what's creating your reality. And the thoughts you choose to have is what's creating your reality. Right? So, for instance, I'm on TikTok right now, and Veronica Whitney wrote in the comments, will Brian ever talk more in depth about his problems and feelings? Who cares? Right? Respectfully, who cares about Brian and his feelings? The idea with access bars is focus on yourself, focus on your life, focus on what you're doing and what you're creating. And if you change your mindset from focusing so much more on what the other person is doing, then what happens is that they may come back around to you, or they may want to reach out to you because your energy is off of them and it's now on yourself. It's all energy work. And that's what I love about access bars. So the thing is with access bars is that it is a modality that needs to be done in person, right? If you are wanting an access bars session, you can't do it online. You have to actually meet with somebody and get that situation done, that session done, because it's a hands-on healing technique. However, we do energetic clearings with access bars, you know? And you can do that for those people that are long distance. So my center is located in Northern Virginia. My clients come to me for access bars sessions to work on resetting their mindset, right? But there are people who can't get to me. So you can do an energetic clearings on the phone. And it's just kind of like what I did. By the way, for those of you who are wondering, what did Veronica Whitney have to say? She said, I love you being blunt. Thank you. But it's the truth, right? You're sitting over here caring so much about what Bryant is doing or caring about, but you're not caring about yourself. And that's the simple little things that I do as an access practitioner is I get the client to see how they are mismanaging their emotions, they're mismanaging their energy. And then when you work with me as an access healer, my whole focus is about stop caring about what is non-essential, right? And care more about what is important. And when you care about what is important, life will get better for you. It's always a choice. So I love doing access bars as a practitioner because within one session, I can see people have some amazing changes within one session. I had this person come in, uh, this female, she was having issues with selling her home. She just could not sell her home. And she had taken access bars from me. So she took the class from me. So she knew that this was her problem, her issues, right? But she didn't know how to like unwork it. So she came in for a session and I did the clearings and the access bar session with her. Do you know by the time she walked out of that session and she went to her car, as soon as she got to her car, her realtor wrote her and said, your house is sold. But you know what's even funny about that situation? The realtor said he didn't even list the property yet. It was like another realtor was in need of something of that kind of house. And this realtor was like, oh, yeah, I got a house. Actually, I was about to list. And they started talking. And next thing you know, they made an offer and it was above asking price. It was above asking price. So was that a coincidence? Was that a miracle? No. That is what happens when you get in alignment. When you get in alignment with your path, your thoughts, you create the reality you're meant to live. Okay? You create the reality that you're meant to live. And the thing is that this is so easy and available to everyone, but people just don't take advantage of it because people are more concerned with what is going on in the outside world, what is going on with other people. You know, people get consumed with things like love and relationships or money, right? Like in me just talking right now, being on TikTok, I've just had 3 requests come in. Joanna Lopez, is it over between me and Tony? Baby Joanna, will Robert leave his third party for me? Long Beach baby, Lisa, was there any intimacy between Donnie and Michelle? This is the problem with the world today, is that we are so focused about everything else but ourselves. And that is why we're not in alignment. And because we're not in alignment, we cannot create the life we're supposed to create. So you can do that if that is your wish, to just be so focused on other people or things that you think are important but are really not important at all. or you can take the time to process, right? I personally feel I've been a healer for 15 years and I've worked with over 15,000 clients. I say this all the time. I My professional opinion is that there are a lot of people that are just distracted in life. They're just distracted. They have no purpose. They have no vision. They have no desire to make themselves better, right? They're just out here blindly following the blind, right? Blindly following the blind and just getting up and doing the day to day and going to bed. I had an aunt. She was like really one of my earlier spiritual teachers. And she used to tell me, she's from Guyana, where I'm from. I'm from South America, Caribbean girl. And she used to tell me, if you don't have some form of spirituality in your life, it's like you go to bed a pig, wake up a hog. And I love that she said that because it's so true, right? Because you go to bed a pig, you wake up a hog. Basically, you're just living according to your animal instincts. You eat, you poop, you sleep, you do it all over again, right? And she told me that when I was a little girl, and I realized I didn't want to be an animal. I wanted to have a higher way of living than an animal. I wanted to do more than just exist. And that's what took me down my spiritual path. And that's why all the modalities that I offer at my metaphysical wellness center, I've done on myself. I've had it done to me, right? So access bars that I'm talking about today, I had that done to me, right? My friend Gina, she owned another metaphysical wellness center in the area. She's closed it now, but she said to me, "Do you want to try this new modality I just learned? It's called access bars." She's like, "I want to come and give you a free session." I was like, "Say less, sis. Say less. You want to give me a free session? Sure. I want to take that free session. Let me see what this is about." And in that one session, I was so changed immediately. I remember vividly when I was finished with my healing session, I walked outside and I remember the sun was shining so brightly and the grass was so green and the air was like, it just smelled pure. It was purified. And I was like, what is going on? And she said, that's access bars. It brings you back into your being, into your like the here and now. And that's so hard for me because having a diagnosed anxiety disorder, I tend to live in the future, right? Worry is my thing. I always worry. I worry about my kids. I worry about my partner. I worry about the future. I worry about my business. So for me to stay present, I have to do a lot of activities on a daily basis to just stay present, and to not get distracted by other stuff that's going on. I found that access bars helped me with that. So for any of you who have a problem staying present, access bars is one of the modalities that you want to look into because it can really help you make sense of what is important and what is not. Another thing that I like about access bars is that it reduces your limiting beliefs. You would not believe how many people I have met that really don't believe they deserve all the good things. And a therapist had told me a long time ago that there are two core wounds in a person. A person can either have one of two core wounds. The first core wound is, I am not lovable. And the second core wound is, I am not worthy. So half the population is walking around feeling like, I am not lovable, right? People can't love me. People don't want to love me. I'm not good enough to be loved. So they do the most to try to get people to love them. This would be people that like maybe spend a lot of money for buy people things, or do the most for people, like go above and beyond, even though the person's not even contributing or doing anything for them. It's like they got to prove themselves to be worthy of love, right? And then the other group of people is I am not worthy. Which one are you? Which one do you think is your core wound? I'm not lovable or I'm not worthy. And the I'm not worthy people, they just feel like they don't deserve good things. So they just keep doing bad things or they just are content to stay where they're at, you know, because I'm not worthy. I'm not going to get anything nice. So why even try? Why even bother? Right. So that would be interesting to find out what you guys think that you are, which core wound you have. I know for me, for the longest time, I operated from a place of I'm not lovable. So I was the person that used to do the most in relationships, do the most with my friends, do the most with my family, because I just felt like if anybody did, God forbid anybody did anything nice for me, I didn't know how to act if they did something nice for me. What if you feel both? Yeah, that happens. That happens. But there usually is like one core wound that really is like, that's it, that's me. And you can like Google this online, core wounds, and I think there's even a quiz. But for me, I just knew it was I'm not lovable, because I think I'm worthy. I think I deserve love. I think that, I should have love, but I struggled with believing people could love me. That was my struggle, believing that people could love me. So I spent a lifetime turning away love, denying love, or questioning people that loved me until I healed myself, right? And that's where I tend to work with my clients with those core wounds is trying to uncreate and destroy those thoughts, those limiting beliefs of this is all that life is and this is all that I can have, you know? And I find that Access Bars is a great help with that. Because when I have my clients come in for their sessions, first we identify which of the core wounds is the issue. And then when they're getting their sessions, I'm trying to focus the questions uh, on things that would kind of trigger that core wound, right? So, what's a session like? You guys have most likely more than likely most of you have gone for a massage, right? It's like a massage, but you don't have to take your clothes off. You stay fully clothed and you lay on the massage table. Your head's on a pillow. The Access Bars practitioner is behind you. And I'm sitting, let's say I'm sitting at the table, right? And I have my hands and there's 17 hand positions that we do for an Access Bars session. There's 32 points that we touch, and there's 17 hand positions. And basically, what we do is like we just touch different parts of the head. And the idea behind Access Bars is that when you touch these different points, these negative thoughts, these limiting beliefs, these mental patterns that hold you back begin to dissipate. Now, that's hard to prove, right? Like logically, but guess what? They did. Because if you go on YouTube and you Google Access Bars, there is a video by um, a neuroscientist. I forgot his name. I always forget his name, but is it Katz? Jeffrey Katz? There is a neuroscientist that did an experiment because he wanted to see if this Access Bars thing had any validity to it. So what he did was he he did like, put the little sticker thingies with the wires on a person's brain. And then he took like a recording of the person's brain wave patterns before an Access Bars session. And then the person had a session and then they redid it again. And they found that there was more activity in the brain after the Access Bars session, literally like 20 or 30 minutes later, way more activity. Right? Now that's important because if you are following the natural laws of the planet, you understand that we live on Earth that is ruled by natural laws. One of the natural laws is law of gravity. What goes up must come down. Another natural law is the law of vibration, which the law of attraction is based off of. I attract to me that which I am, right? And you use your brain power to attract things that you are, right? That's why we say in the metaphysical community, your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts create your reality. And if you're not thinking and creating your reality, then it is being created by your lack of attention to it. So, what does that look like? How many of you come to my TikTok channel every single day and ask about a love interest, right? No shame, no shade, but the truth. For those of you that hang out in my stream, you see hundreds of people pass through every day, right? Will George Mesa look for me, right? I could just read the comments that I've been missing, you know? Should I give up on Bubba? Will Renzo reach out soon? Is Victor going to contact me? Am I with my soulmate, right? And all that energy that you're putting onto somebody else, you are taking away from yourself. But here's the interesting part about that, right? The energy that you're not putting on yourself, it has to go somewhere because you're spending energy, right? Where do you think that energy is going to go? It's going to go to that person that you're thinking of. So, have you guys ever experienced this, right? Where you went through, say, a breakup with somebody and your life is going down and their life is going up? Hi, Leah. Hi, Incredible. Right? Your life is going down and their life is going up. Has that ever happened to you? And you're like, what is going on? What is going on? Well, this is what's going on. Hi, beautiful. Thank you. You are focusing so much on that person that you're giving them your energy. So now they're thriving. They're now in a whole new relationship. They're in love. They're ready to commit and give that person all the things that you wanted with them. They're looking better. They lost the weight. They're looking cute, right? Oh, now they were never working with you. Now they got a job. Now they're working 3 jobs, right? That's not just them. That's them plus your energy. You understand? That's them plus your energy. So when I work with a lot of women who can't accept the fact that it's over with their partner, usually men. Incredible said, if I hear 3 jobs one more time today, you know what? That might be a message for you, sir. You're welcome, Rhea. Right? So if that's happening to you, you have to realize that this is a wake-up call for you to put that energy back on yourself. And it's funny because I don't know what it is, but I think women don't deal well with rejection. You know? I don't think women are like men. I feel this is just a side note to my talk on access bars. And I do that a lot, by the way. For those of you that are listening on my podcast, I apologize, but I tend to just go off on tangents. And thank you, Incredible. I go off on tangents, but I think my tangents is what make me so adorable. So y'all can't tell me nothing else. Okay. But I think women have a harder time with rejection because men for the longest time they've had to get used to it, right? They go up to in the club to a girl, you want to dance? No, right? Can I get your number? No. So I think it's hurtful. It's still hurtful to a man, but I think they're more used to it. But for women, we're not used to being denied, rejected, redirected, right? So I've noticed that a lot of my clients that are coming to me for love relationship issues, they tend to be women that just can't take no. No, I don't want to be with you. No, I don't want a relationship. No, I don't want to get married. No. And that's where I think like access bars comes in so handy because when I do an access bars session with a client, I'm trying to get her to see the bigger picture. Plenty of fish in the sea. Do you really need to run after this guy who's clearly telling you he don't want you? So many more people out there, right? That's true. Incredible said women move on better, in my opinion. Once they truly let go, you never existed. But it's getting the woman to that place to let go. That's the hard part. And that's where a lot of my work is focused on, is getting them to remember that you have a life outside of this person. You have a life outside of this relationship, you know? So access bars is a great modality for those of you that are struggling with your mindset, struggling with your thoughts. If you need clarity, if you need to make sense of things, I would recommend if you're going to get a healing session from a healer, I would recommend the Access Bar session as opposed to, say, Reiki or integrated energy therapy or a massage or therapy or life coaching. I would recommend Access Bars because just like I've been doing Access Bars since 2015. I've gotten sessions on myself and I've given sessions to people. And the creator of Access Bars, his name is Gary Douglas. He said, get 10 sessions and your life will change. And that's what most of my clients do. They'll sign up and, they'll book like a 10 session package, either once a week, once every other week, or once a month. And their lives do change. I had this one woman, she was an older Hispanic grandmother because I got the blessing to meet her, her daughter, and her grandson, you know? And when she came into me, she was like, a nice petite little lady. And she just was kind of like, she was not in the best place because she was living in her daughter's house. She didn't have any space of her own. And she pretty much was the babysitter for her grandson 24/7. And she was a realtor, but she wasn't really selling anything. So and she didn't have any love interest. And she was just kind of like existing. And for some reason, she found me and wanted an Access Bars session because she went on my website and she looked it up at all the things I offered, and she decided to go and get an Access Bars session. Well, right after the very first session, she felt amazing. She said, for the first time in a long time, I feel happy and I don't know why. She's like, usually I have a reason when I'm happy, like it's one of my grandchildren's birthday or a check came in. She said, but for the first time in a long time, I just feel happy for no reason. And she's like, I want more of this. I want more of this. And I told her what Gary Douglas said, the owner of Access Bars, that he said, if you get 10 sessions, your whole life will change. And she said, you know what? I want to see. Not only did she come back for 10 sessions, she came for 20 sessions. Once a week, I met this lady back to back to back, once a week for her sessions. Do you know by the end of the time that we spent together, this lady was in her 60s. By the time we were done, she had moved out of her daughter's house, gotten her own place, was selling mad houses on the real estate market. So money was coming in. She met this gentleman that she was beginning to talk to. She put up her boundaries with her daughter. And, I'm not my grandson's babysitter 24/7. I'll babysit like 2 or 3 times a week. And then she was by the end, she was talking to me about buying property in Spain because that was one of her dream goals was to buy property in Spain and have a second home. And then she started to look younger, right? She was in her 60s, but she was looking so young that when she went out with her daughter, people thought that they were sisters. Incredible, no, right? Now that triggered the daughter because she's seeing her mom and her mom is looking younger and younger and she wants to know what is it that you're doing? So then the daughter started coming seeing me for sessions. And then the daughter's life just blew up and became amazing. So now the grandson is seeing all of this and he wants in on the action. So then it came to a point where I was seeing the whole family, the grandmother, the mother, the grandson, the uncle, you know. Jackie, does it help with depression? Absolutely. They had a statistic that I'm sure I can find the the evidence for, but I remember reading a couple years back that they had a statistic that access bars helps alleviate symptoms of anxiety, depression, and PTSD in 84% of clients seen. That's a big that's a big thing. It's so big with PTSD clients that there are access bars practitioners around the world because this is not just in America. We're all over the world that are going to hospitals and veteran centers to offer access bars for free to um, past military, people, former military members, and they've been having really good results. And I think that was amazing when I heard that there were actually access bars practitioners banding together, getting together and asking to go to like the VA or medical centers and just offer this session for free to former military members because they know that it can help them with their minds and to help with the healing of their minds and the negative thoughts and things like that. So yeah, Jackie, it has really good benefits for depression. So, do you guys have any questions for me at this time? This is about the time that I usually end this broadcast, but I always open it up at the end if anyone has any questions. I would recommend, instead of just hearing about it, get a session. Get a session. So, reach out to the local healers in your area. Of course, if you're in Northern Virginia, that's where I'm at. So you can, hit me up on my DMs or whatnot and schedule a session. Because, like I said, access bars has to be done in person. So you can hit me up and come for a session, or if you're far from me and you just wanted to try the verbal clearings where, I sit with you on the phone and I do the clearings, we can do that as well, right? The verbal clearings will also help, right? But I would say if you've never had access bars done, your first session should be in person. It should be with a access bars practitioner. And you can find out about the practitioners in your area by going to the website. There is a website. It's accessconsciousness.com. Accessconsciousness.com. And when you go there, it'll drop down and you can find a bars practitioner in your area and it'll tell you who's there. But try getting it in person, and see what it feels like. I got to say, out of all the modalities I've learned over 40 plus modalities. I'm certified in over 40 plus modalities. Access bars is definitely one of my favorites and one of the go-to sessions that I use with my clients. Because when my clients contact me, they'll say, I'm going through this. I don't know what service I should get with you. You have a whole bunch of stuff you offer, and they'll tell me what they're going through. And I swear to you, like 75% of the time, I'm recommending the access bars session. Hi, Queen. I'm recommending the access bar session because it's just so helpful. And really and truly, when it comes down to the bottom of it, once you change your mindset and the way you look at things, all of life changes. So it's about changing your mindset and getting the right mindset. All right. So that's my talk for today, Wellness Wednesday. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if anyone listening to this recording, listening to this live, you want to get in contact with me to find out about access bars, about booking a session, or even taking a class. Maybe you are an established healer, or you have your own wellness center, or you're a massage therapist or a yogi, right? And you want to add to your list of things you offer to your clients. You can also consult me about taking an Access Bars class. It's a 1-day class. And in the class, you will learn how to do the Access Bars session. You'll learn the theory and the practices of Access Bars. And then you get your certificate that allows you to go out into the world and give Access Bars sessions. So it's also a nice idea for anybody who's into holistic spiritual things and you want to start a side business as well. That would be a good thing to consider, because it's just a 1-day class that you take and then you get your certificate that makes you a certified bars practitioner. Okay. So that's it for my Wellness Wednesday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I look forward to your comments and for those of you that reach out to me to find out more about it. Any questions? All right. Well, if we don't have any questions, I thank you guys all for coming, and I hope to see you for more follow-up events. Tomorrow is Thursday. We have a full moon in Aries, and I am doing actually an energetic clearings Zoom meetup. So I think it's $20 to attend, but if you want to join us, we're going to be on Zoom at 5 p.m. Full moon energy clearings, letting go to let in. So what we're going to be doing is I'll spend the first half of that event clearing people. So this is be a great way for you to try Access Bars. And then the second part, we're going to do cord cutting ceremony. So like you would have to bring some things with you, like a rope, twine, or scissors, and essential oil, like either frankincense, sage, rosemary, or olive oil if you don't have any of those things. And we would do a cord cutting as well. So if anybody is interested in doing something for the full moon tomorrow, you can hit me up. It's at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, October 6th. It's October 17th, Thursday, October 17th. And this full moon thing is really good for those of you that struggle with letting go. Let's say something ended in your life and you are having a hard time letting go. I would say get some full moon healing, cord cutting, energy clearings going, because really and truly life is all about change, and you have to learn to roll with changes as they come up. I feel like a lot of people don't really get that. There is a law of detachment, just like I talked about the natural laws earlier. There is a law called the law of detachment, which means that things must end. And you have to learn to accept the ending. And I feel like really called as a healer to work with the community with learning to let go, not force things, not push things, not have an agenda, not manipulate things, but to let go, to lower the resistance and let go. What is for you is for you. So you don't got to do nothing but do you. And whatever's for you is going to come to you. All right. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. So thank you guys so much for showing up. I will see y'all later.